What's going on, guys? It's Hai, and I guess I should say Xin Jiao because we are officially in Hanoi, Vietnam. I'm gonna say that this is my first time in Hanoi because I might have been here when I was a little kid, but honestly I do not remember coming here at all. So I'm gonna say that it's my first time ever being in Hanoi. Right now I'm currently scheduled to be here for the next week, so I'm gonna take you guys along with me as I explore the city and go on a bunch of new adventures. As you can probably see, it is a beautiful July day and it is just scorching out here. It's about 9 a.m. right now, and I think the first thing that we gotta do is go find some food. So we were just walking down the street looking for something to eat, and I heard a little Asian lady just screaming at me from across the street to come in and try their egg coffee. And when in Hanoi, you just gotta try the egg coffee. For our first stop of the day, we were at the No Cafe, and just one step into the cafe, you could completely tell why it's called the No Cafe, because there are sticky notes pretty much filled everywhere on the walls and ceiling of this place. The idea behind this place is to just grab a sticky note, fill it out, stick it on the wall or wherever, and just leave your mark. So here it is, our first order for the day. We have two different coffee drinks. One is the Café Soda, which is just coffee, milk, and ice. That's what it pretty much directly translates to. And the other is the milk coffee, and that is a staple of the Hanoi experience. Okay, so I guess we'll start with the Café Soda. And this is kind of a staple for me when I go to Vietnam because it's pretty cheap and it's pretty abundant. You can find them everywhere. So let's hit this. So this one is not so much milk in it, it's more of the darker coffee, and like I said, it's just coffee and milk. So it's black coffee with milk in it, and this is what you get. And for me, this is a little bit still bitter, so I'm more of the sweet coffee person, so it's alright. Okay, so next up is the egg coffee, and I think the story behind this is that during the war, resources were just scarce, so they didn't have creamer and all that stuff. So the inventor of the egg coffee just went out, got some eggs, whipped it up, and added to the coffee. And if you've ever done any baking, you know that once you start whipping the egg up, it becomes sort of a cream texture. So add the egg into the coffee and you get egg coffee. So let's, oh wow, this thing is super thick. It looks like there's some chocolate down there.
I know his face. I didn't know he was French. Yeah, he's French.
This is like really mild coffee. Like to me, you can't even taste the coffee flavor at all. The egg just makes it a lot thicker. Like once it hits your mouth, like it's a weird experience. Like imagine drinking nothing but froth. To me, that's what it is. Even though like you can see the liquids in there, but it feels like it's all froth. So overall, the two coffees were okay. I was really expecting a lot more, especially from the egg coffee, but I guess going into this trip, I should really explain that I'm a bit of a pessimist and I'm more of a realist. So for me, when you see all this food, I can feel you guys just all staring at me. So as you can tell, I had to cut that a little bit short in there because everybody just started staring at me. We were in a really small room with a lot of, I guess you can say foreigners, because they stuck all of the English-speaking people in the same room, and everybody just kind of met and started talking and about their lives and whatnot. So sorry, it was a little bit loud in there. But what I was trying to say while I was in the cafe was that I'm a bit of a pessimist when it comes to everything. I'm the type of person that's the cup is a little bit half full. So when I do these food vlogs and all that stuff and I give my opinion, everything is kind of just okay, it's all right, and that makes it a little bit hard to be like like super expressive about everything. But anyways, we have left the No Cafe and we are actually at our first planned destination, which is a lake which happens to be right next to the actual cafe. So as you can see, we are at the lake right now, and behind me you can probably see, maybe not, but there is a little entranceway and you have to pay a fee to cross the bridge and go over to the other side. And right now the sign says is 30,000 dong, which with the current exchange, it's about 23,500 per 1 USD. So this is about like $1.50. But still, I don't really think it's worth it. I saw what's on the other side, and I don't know if I'm willing to pay $1.50. But I mean, it's not too bad. It's pretty cheap to just explore. So I literally just went against what I just said. Paid 30,000 each, so it's 60,000 total for 2 people. And doing it for the vlog, we're just going to cross this bridge and see what this temple is like. Figured might as well, we're on vacation, traveling around, might as well just pay the extra $3 or whatever it is to get in and explore more places. So this is kind of what I was fearing, because I've been to Vietnam a couple times and I've been to a couple of these temples, and yeah, just like I was expecting, this is this is a little bit lame, but you know, for $1 you can't really, oh, okay, never mind. There is more to it. So I guess I should take back what I just said. For $1, I guess $1 is not too bad at all. So to be able to go in here, see the temple, and check out the various little things. It's a pretty basic temple, nothing really mind-blowing, but again, for $1, I would suggest you to try it out, go and see what's in here. So we've left the temple back there on the other side of the lake and have walked around the perimeter of the lake and have come to a little spot that I'm trying to photograph. As you can see, I have my camera set up and I'm trying to take a picture of this little structure that's just sitting in the middle of the lake. But right now I'm finding it to be an impossibility because just various conditions that's making it very difficult for me to get something that I like. So I think for now I'm just going to pack it up and put my gear away. I guess I forgot to mention that this trip is really just a vacation trip and not supposed to be a work trip, although all my trips going anywhere really turns out to be work trips. But with that, when I travel, I'm really just out and trying to get new scenery and get to experience the world. I'm not really out to get mind-blowing photographs or anything like that. For me, when I travel, my photography is really just opportunistic. I bring everything along and try to just set up for something that may happen. I don't really plan to get anything in particular. And I guess today is really the perfect example of that. When you travel around, you're generally, you're walking around all day, experience this noon, bright, harsh daylight. So you just really got to make the best of it and, can't really complain too much about it. So after a lot of walking, I finally made it here to Train Street in Hanoi. So as you can see, this is just a street with a train track running through it. That's the entire gimmick. And beside the train track are houses, businesses, and people have just set up beside this train track and made it a part of their daily lives. And the train is still running. It does still come through the street throughout the day, and like I said, it's just a part of their daily lives. Throughout the years, and thanks to social media and all of that, this location has really become very popular. And if you couldn't tell by all the people walking back and forth, there are a lot of people here just checking out the scenery, seeing the track, taking pictures on it, and it's very popular. So after a lot of walking through the city and through Train Street, we just decided to stop at this quaint little cafe along the side of the track to just get something to eat, get something to drink, and because it's brutally hot outside. I am sweating AF right now. I'm sweating in places that I should not be sweating, and it's killer out here in July. So first thing on the menu, we got a passion fruit smoothie, and oh wow, super sweet. It's like they added milk or something to it. It makes it like, oh man, just hits the spot on a super hot day like today. Round 2, watermelon smoothie. It tastes like watermelon juice. It's super bland, as you can expect from watermelon juice. It doesn't have too much sugar in it, and I mean, right now it's okay. It's not as good as the passion fruit, but still very thirst quenching. So each of these smoothies cost 30,000 dong, and you know, between the two, if you were to ask me, definitely go with the passion fruit one. But then again, I like sweets, so if you like sweets, definitely go with this. The watermelon juice just tastes like watermelon juice. Across from our little cafe is this graffiti wall, and on it, it has the train timetable. And as you can see, it comes every day, 6 a.m., 7:10 p.m., 6:15 a.m., and what's 21? That's 9:10 p.m. So if you're actually interested in seeing the train, you actually got to come pretty early in the day or pretty late at night. So right now, for me, it's 11:49 a.m., so I'm not going to stay around for another 7-8 hours just to try to catch the train. Alright, so for the last thing that we ordered at this location, it's pretty much just fried spring rolls. And not much to it, let's see. Oh, so hot. That was a bad idea trying to eat that whole thing in one bite. It was fresh off the frying pan and still hot. As far as taste, to be honest, I think my mom makes it better, but I mean, my mom's not here, so it's pretty good. But to me, this one in particular is a little bit more on the sour side. Like, you can definitely taste that a little bit of a sourness kick to it. But considering that it only costs 20,000 for 6 of these little nuggets, the price isn't all that bad. So just finished up with our meal, and the total was 95,000 dong, and that equates to a little bit over $4. So for 2 smoothies, a Pepsi that I didn't show, and the fried spring rolls, $4, not too bad. Now that we got something to eat, something to drink, and some of our energy back, we're going to keep walking around this city and head over to St. Joseph's Cathedral. So as you can see, after a lot of walking around, we have made it to St. Joseph's Cathedral, and today is a little bit disappointing because it's completely gated off, and it doesn't look like you can actually get anywhere near the cathedral. Just stand outside from this little courtyard and look at it for the most part, and unfortunately it looks like it's a little bit run down, like the outside is just completely, all the paint's worn off and all that, and it's really dilapidated, and that's a little bit unfortunate. So if you're interested in coming here, to be honest, you're really just standing outside and looking at this a little bit run down little church, and I mean, it's free, so you can't really complain, but you know, not really recommended. But I guess one upside to coming here is that right across the street on this courtyard is a Share Tea, which is currently my favorite as I try to walk across the street without getting hit. Share Tea is currently my favorite boba tea location, so we're gonna stop by and grab something to drink. So I think for me, coming in here and ordering was really just a test to see how Vietnamese prices compare with American prices. And I know for sure in America when I do 2 drinks, it's about $11, $12, and here is $134,000. So I think that's a little bit less than $6, so about half the price. So that's pretty good. So I'm a pretty basic person when it comes to pretty much anything in life. Once I find something that I like, I generally stick with it. And proves the case, even in Vietnam, I still order my normal Coca Lover, and let's see how it tastes. Tastes like it does in America, so if you're going to a Share Tea in Vietnam, rest assured it's pretty much the same thing. Alright, so just finished up with Share Tea, and by the way, if you are interested in going to St. Joseph's Cathedral, I asked one of the workers in there and they said that it is open on the weekends, so if you're interested in actually going inside, you might want to come here on the weekends. But as far as for me, it is about 1 p.m. here in Hanoi, and I've pretty much done everything that I had planned for this morning. Well, I really didn't have anything planned, but we've hit up pretty much everything that we wanted to see around this area. So I think right now we're going to head back to the hotel, hang around for a little bit, and maybe do something later tonight. So catch you guys there. So flash forward a few hours of chilling out at the hotel. We are leaving now again and going to get dinner. And I guess right now, since we're so close to the hotel, it'd be a good point in this video to talk about my current living accommodations. For this week, I'm staying at the Ancient Lane Hotel, and to be honest, it's a quite quaint and simple hotel with nothing much. You open the door, walk in, and you get the bed, and that's pretty much all it is to this room. A bed and a bathroom. So I think it's at this point in the video, as I try to cross the street, that I should talk about road crossing etiquette while you're in really just Hanoi and Vietnam in general. If you're interested in traveling in Vietnam, you've probably heard that pretty much everyone says that the road conditions, or for at least when you're trying to walk and cross the street in Vietnam, it's very hectic because people don't really pay attention to road signs or anything like that. They kind of go and everybody just tries to make it out alive. And that for the most part is pretty true. You just kind of walk through, don't be too afraid. Obviously watch out for the cars, but make eye contact with everything and just walk through. People will try to dodge you. But I'll get back to that when I get a better example of actually crossing the street. But for right now, I've actually made it to my restaurant of choice for the night, and we are going to be having pho. So tonight we are eating at Pho Moi, or 10 Li Quốc Sư, and this over the years has become kind of one of the hot spots as far as Hanoi pho, because of the various YouTube vlogs and reviewers out there coming here. And you know, this is kind of weird to say, but it has driven the price up a little bit, as each bowl costs about 60,000 dong, and that's $2.50-ish cents. And again, it's kind of weird to say that that's expensive, because considering in America a bowl of pho would be $5-10 each, so $2.50, no real complaints here. For this meal, I decided to go with the pho dinh. So pho is pho, and dinh is pretty much well done or cooked. So that is in regarding to the meat itself. The meat is cooked for this particular pho. Then sitting on the side, we have a big plate of lime and various peppers and sauces that you can add to your pho. for me, I'm pretty much just going to go at it raw without adding really anything, because me personally, I would say that if a dish is not good enough by itself, there's something wrong. The pho itself is pretty simple. You just have cilantro, red onions, green onions, the meat, beef, and this is where I would say that it's different. The noodles itself, it's not the noodles that you typically see in pho, and I don't know if I've actually had pho with this type of noodle. I know what it is in Vietnamese, but I just can't translate it to what it is for Americans. But as you can see, it's different from the typical really thin pho noodles. Okay, so let's do this for the first time. Let's get a little meat and some noodles. I would say, as somebody who's eaten pho pretty much their entire life growing up as a Vietnamese person, this is probably the sweetest pho that I've ever had. The broth itself, it's definitely sweeter than any pho that I've had. So again, as a Vietnamese person, someone who grew up eating nothing but Vietnamese food, it's difficult for me to really judge mass-produced, restaurant-quality Vietnamese food, because to me, Mom always makes the best pho. But I would say that as far as eating at a restaurant, I guess this is the best pho that I've ever had. It's a little bit weird to say, but aside from that sweet broth, just this change up in the type of noodles, this thicker noodles, I think I actually prefer it to the more traditional pho noodles that you would normally see. Really surprising to me that I would say that a pho is the best pho that I've had. So first official big meal is complete, and it went pretty well. I enjoyed that pho. And by the way, if you are in Vietnam, if you're wondering, tipping is not a part of the culture. You don't have to tip if you don't want to, and no one really expects you to. So I don't know if you guys can tell by the pools of dripping sweat that's on me right now, but going out and getting pho on a really hot summer day was not the best of idea. But when in Rome, eat some pho. So right now we have made it back to the hotel, or at least the hotel neighborhood that we are staying at. And by the way, if you are interested in the Ancient Lane Hotel, it is kind of in the center of a very populated neighborhood. I mean, like, there are little stores and little markets, whatnot, literally right outside the doors of the hotel. So you are very with the local at this particular hotel. Aside from that, one thing that's nice about this particular hotel is that it does have a lot of the minor little amenities. Like if you want to go on various tours to Halong Bay or Ninh Bình or anything like that, you can get it directly through the hotel. And then if you need a SIM card like I needed, it costs $250,000 when I bought it today, so $11 for a whole month of service. And it comes with, I think, 60 gig of data, so about 2 gigs of data per day. If you're traveling around, there is a lot of Wi-Fi pretty much everywhere, but of course that means that you have to stop everywhere. So for me, having a SIM card is pretty much a must. With that said, we've just made it inside of a Circle K, which is pretty much like, you think of it as a convenience store like in America without the gas station though. So we're going to stock up on water because the hotel is kind of charging a lot for us, so we're just going to stock up on a bunch of liquids and maybe a couple of snacks. So after looking at prices, even in a large chain convenience store like this, it is still cheaper than what I would have paid for a smaller water bottle at the hotel. So again, really stock up, try to find a place with some cheap water, maybe a nice, smaller, family-owned convenience store, and just stock up from there. Stocked up on a couple bottles of water, and I think that's going to be it for this particular vlog. First day done, did a bunch of walking and some eating, so I always call that mission accomplished. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, share it around, comment down below any thoughts or questions that you may have. If you have suggestions for Hanoi or anywhere else in Vietnam, make sure to leave that down below. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more content. Thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.